Hey guys, in this video we are going to be solving some equations with logarithms in them. So we're going to be using our laws of logarithms, we are going to be using our ability to manipulate expressions using our log laws of course, and our general understanding of the definition of a log. Let's look at an example right here. So the example is log to the base 2 of 3 plus log to the base 2 of x is equal to 2. The easiest way to approach these kinds of equations would be to combine the logs. So by that, we're going to use our addition or multiplication law, shall I say, and that becomes log to the base 2 of 3x is equal to 2. So you've multiplied 3 and x to get 3x. From this stage, we've got log to the base 2 of 3x equals 2. If we think back to our definition of logs, we have to get from 2, that base, to 3x, we have to raise 2 to the power of 2, which is in our answer. So we can rewrite that as 2 to the power of 2 is equal to 3x. And then, of course, 2 to the power of 2 is equal to 4, and that's equal to 3x. So then that means that we have 4 over 3 is equal to x. Okay, right, our next example will be this. It's going to be log to the base 6 of 12 minus log to the base 6 of x is equal to 3. Okay, so same thing here. We use our log laws to combine the logs. So that becomes log to the base 6 of 12 over x, and that equals 3. And again, to get from our base 6 to 12 over x, we have to raise 6 to the power of 3. So we write that 6 to the power of 3 is equal to 12 over x. Okay? And then looking at that, 6 to the power of 3, well, that's going to be 216, and that's equal to 12 over x. And then what we need to do from here is just rearrange to get x on its own. Right, let me just put a line down here and carry it on this side. So multiplying both sides by x, we get 216x equals 12, and then x is going to be 12 over 216. Okay, and of course, if you want to simplify this fraction, that would give you, so 12 divided by 216 will give you 1 over 18. Right, let's look at one more example. Okay, so here's our next example. That's 2 log to the base 5 of x equals 1 plus log to the base 5 of 6. Okay, the first thing that I'd like for us to do is to get everything with a log on one side of the equals and everything without a log on the other side. So I'm actually going to subtract log to the base 5 of 6 from both sides. And what I get is this: 2 log to the base 5 of x minus log to the base 5 of 6, and that equals 1. Okay, and now I'm going to combine these logs, but in order to do so, I have to first of all make the coefficients the same. So I need to rewrite the first expression using the power law, So that becomes log to the base 5 of x to the power of 2 minus log to the base 5 of 6. Okay, and that equals 1. Now at this stage, I can combine these using the division law. So that becomes log to the base 5 of x squared over 6, and that equals 1. Okay, and at this stage, again, log to the base 5 of x squared over 6 equals 1 means to get from 5 to x squared over 6, I have to raise 5 to the power of 1. So that means that 5 to the power of 1 is equal to x squared over 6. And at this stage, I'm going to simplify, so that becomes 5 equals x squared over 6. And then, multiplying both sides by 6, I get 30 equals x squared. Now, for the sake of being proper and always following what we say, this is a quadratic equation in its right. So what I am going to do is I'm actually going to take away 30 from both sides. So 0 equals x squared minus 30. Factorizing this by the difference of two squares gives me 0 equals x plus the square root of 30, x minus the square root of 30, giving me the x is equal to either minus root 30 or x equals the square root of 30. Okay, now just to re-evaluate this answer, let me just write the original question. So the original question was 2 log to the base 5 of x equals 1 plus log to the base 5 of 6. Notice how if x were equal to minus the square root of 30, you'd end up having 2 times log to the base 5 of minus the square root of 30. Now, if you type this in your calculator, you'll actually get an error, okay? Because the logarithm can't actually take negative numbers. So what we end up noticing is that the only solution is going to be x equals the square root of 30 for this particular example. Okay. We'll look at some more examples in the next video. That's it for now.